A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Friday edition of the show. I will promise to make it worth your while. I'm Yemi Adebayo. On the show tonight, we'll be talking about American football. We will also talk about the Golden Eaglets, their travails right there in Algeria. We look at the domestic league. Then, of course, we look at what some have called the best league in the world. That's the English Premier League. We look at what is happening. And, of course, we'll look at the top four race, the relegation contenders, and a whole lot talking about sports on the show tonight. So I urge you to sit back and relax as we take you on a trip across the money spinning world of sports. Like I said, there's a lot to talk about, and we'll do our best just to, make it entertaining and, of course, enjoyable for you. Shegun Vincent joins me now, and greetings to you, Shegun. Thanks for finding out time to be with us on the show tonight.
Yeah, greetings to you, Yemi. We've not done the show in very,
yeah, in a while.
It's good to be back and relax. And then, you mentioned the statement of EPL being the best league in the world.
Some people say.
I beg to say, but is it really truly the best league in the world? A team that's had probably one of the most terrible seasons in the world, and one team, quote and unquote,
is
seems
doing
to be
well.
having the best time of their life since Mourinho left, and they are 4 points off that team. So
a lot of questions.
I just rest my case.
a lot of questions, and we'll get to that. We'll get at some point. Usually, I'm not alone on the show, but of course, at some point, my colleague Austin Konakman will be joining me. But before he does, let's go on with the show tonight. And of course, the best way to start really is to talk about the Golden Eaglets. And I want to get your thoughts. Hopefully, we'll have a conversation with the media officer of the team. Hopefully, it comes true for us. But first, Shegun, this is the first time we're doing this. 2 matches so far. Tournament decider for the Golden Eaglets tomorrow.
Yeah, against Africa.
Your thoughts?
We won the first game 1-0, a goal to nil, and then we lost the second game against Morocco, a goal to nil. But that we had that own goal. We created a couple of chances. Even in the first game, we could have won the game by more than a goal. But we couldn't. We really won the game. And lost again yesterday. It's really disappointing that we couldn't get the result yesterday. Meaning that Morocco have booked their tickets into the quarterfinals, and we have to win. We have to win the game against South Africa tomorrow by God's grace. I feel like the pressure is now on us compared to before. This is a tournament that we have not won since 2007. We've won it twice, and then we've not won it in 16 years. This tournament has created, which I always talk about, career succession as guys, players coming in. Aside from winning the tournament, also players moving up to the strata, moving better both in Europe. The likes of Victor Osimhen have done a wonderful job in under 17.
Through the ranks.
Taiwo Awoniyi, a couple of other players have come through the ranks via this under 17. So I feel like it's an opportunity for us before the game against Morocco, the team, the president was the one in charge of the under 17 was talking tough as the guys them win the game and all of that. But it didn't happen that they lost the game against Morocco. I feel like they're under pressure now. I feel like they have to work their strides off how they can do certain things in working the way through, which they must defeat Africa to book their ticket. And if they don't, they are done and out, and then makes it on the list of one of the under tournaments with which we haven't been doing. We haven't gone through or to win. And which was what I told you some months back that I don't know what's going to happen in the under tournaments that we have not been able to, both home and abroad, not able to get a nick through, probably win the tournament or going as far as the finals in more recent times, which is something we have to look at. But aside from that, career development for these young players, we've seen a lot of young players coming in from promising talents from the secondary schools, from academies all around, which is a good way, that because it's an end-to-end side.
Mm-hmm.
One side for the talent development, one side for us winning tournament. We in Nigeria, as Nigerian fans and Nigerian supporters, we always like to win. That's one thing.
Victory is good.
Victory is good.
Whichever way it comes.
Whichever way it comes. And then we have the talented players that can do it. And we're doing it in past. So there's just been seems to be some spiritual problems.
Okay.
All
right.
But it's good. It is what it is. And it's why I thought for them tomorrow.
All right. A lot of people have been saying, well, what it takes is just a draw. But of course, you don't go into a game playing for a draw. So still on the matter of the Golden Eaglets, let's see if we can let our viewers see, of course, under 17 AFCON, the group games. Let's see if we can get it on the screen for you so that you can take a look at the final group games and see what it's going to be like. Of course, you've talked about in Nigeria and Morocco. Then, of course, I mean, I'm looking at the faces of these young lads. They're playing good football, but as expected of young lads, you see some of these mistakes, some of this, and looking at their faces, they're truly young, and that's what has won the hearts of a lot of people. But if you don't qualify, if you don't get to the next stage, people forget you easily.
Yes, because the under tournaments are not as well, supposedly as giving much viewership, audience, and all of that at the media stage for the under tournament. So if we don't get to win it or get to qualify to the next round, probably we get forgotten, or probably we just remember that at some point in time, history will remember that probably we get to the tournament, but we just never got through the and of course one of the other factors that affects this is that if your players who are locally based or home based or whatever, they don't play in Africa, they don't move up to playing probably in Europe because the more of the media attention is in Europe as compared to that in Africa or in Nigeria. No disrespect to any media outfit there, but just look at it that if the players don't make it there, they won't. That sense of following the players up through and through is not going to be there, and which is something we need to work on. Which something to work on. Local media houses have to also be able to show forth much alliance to showing the underage competitions. But I feel like these guys are young, like you said, and which is a plus for us. At least we have the level of continuity, players moving here and there. And I believe that we'll figure this out. And like you said before, we move on to onto this topic, onto this side of the topic. We talk about players. I think you talk about the Eaglets being young and then players coming through. I believe that is an idea, is a way for us to look at things differently as compared to the times past. Not to say that one player is old or not player is young, but it's really an array of players to come in through. I think there was a rumor, there was a report that players coming from secondary school coming into the tournament and players from academies. And usually the academy guys are usually the younger players moving to the academies. This coming from players from secondary schools all aboard. Yeah, I remember then there was Principal Cup players we played. Some I think they still to play. I think I even played in one of those Principal Cup far back as but then when we were boys, but I feel like it's a good one for us. No doubt, looking forward into other tournaments, and hopefully we get the result tomorrow.
Okay, so what will be your definition of success as we prepare to probably leave this matter if we're not able to get through to the media officer? But what will be your definition of success for the Golden Eaglets in Algeria?
Yeah, so success is relative.
Okay.
So, but when it comes to the underage competition, like Guardiola once said, it's all about development aside from winning the tournament. The first definition of success for me, like I say, is relative, is that they move up to the quarterfinals, which Morocco has done by winning their 2 games. The second definition of success is that the players from this tournament move on to become stars. What I mean by stars, stars is subject. Stars is quote unquote is theory to definition. What I mean stars is that they move up to the under 20, the under 23, move up to the Super Eagles. Another subject of success is that they move on to play in better in Europe. They go to likes of like what happened to Taiwan and Woniyi, like what happened to Victor Osimhen and a couple of other players too. So those are my own 3 definitions of success in this context for the under 17 tournament.
Okay, that's good. To help us get more perspective, we'll be linking up with the media officer of the Golden Eaglets. Of course, he'll be giving us his perspectives as to what is going on with the Golden Eaglets. I hope we're on to him. Of course, he will be telling us, Francis Achi, he will be telling us. Good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the show, Francis.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's just fill us in with what the mood in camp. I know they're young lads, but of course, I'm very sure they want to move on to the next stage of the competition. A win or a draw gets them that. So what's the mood in the camp?
Of course, the boys have they've gotten over the shock loss to Morocco. And some of them were even joking that Chelsea used to park bus, but Morocco brought in plane and parked the plane so that they could not score. They've already taken that game ahead behind their back, and they're looking forward to the game against South Africa tomorrow. They practice on shooting drills and goal scoring drills today. and to perfect the art of converting the chances created into goals. And I want to say that everything working out fine, we should see the goal Eaglet perfecting that art tomorrow, so that it's not just to create chances, because we are not, you don't win games because you created chances. You win games because you're able to convert your chances. And nobody wants to remember you for creating chances. You will only be remembered for creating chances that you converted into goals. And for tomorrow's game, we are looking forward to see the Gold Eaglets perfect the kind of errors they made on Wednesday against Morocco. We want to see them that they will not they will not perform such errors again. They want to effect the corrections that Luka Bade might have given them. They want to effect it on the pitch of play tomorrow against South Africa.
All right, you took the words right out of my mouth. A lot of fans are worried that, look, these guys create chances. These guys do all the things you want your team to do, but putting the ball at the back of the net has been a challenge. And you seem to have addressed some of that. But is the coaching crew worried about all of that?
It's not really, the coaching crew is not really worried. The coaching crew just want the players to be more tactically disciplined, because we discovered that anybody, we try to kind of, football is not hidden. Anybody wants to play with, do small research about you, and just knowing the fact that this team scored 66 goals in 12 friendly games in Abuja, conceding 14. They became more defensive, playing us, playing Nigeria, go Eaglets. What they did was to deploy defensive formation more. They did the Moroccans, what they did was to deploy defensive formation against the Gold Eaglets. They never believed, or they never knew they were going to score that early own goal. And they got the goal, they stopped to their own plan of defending. They were defending. 63% ball possession for the Golden Eaglet, 27 shot on goal. For the Moroccans, 37%, only 4 shots. So we knew what we wanted to achieve. Unfortunately, that game against Morocco did not turn out to be what we wanted, which we couldn't equalize. I never knew that we were not going to equalize. Everybody felt that the goal will come. Until first half ended, second half ended, and the goal did not come. But I'm sure it's a wake-up call to these boys. They are young boys. They are young boys. The young player that came for the press conference today is just in JSS 3. His name is Charles Agada, JSS 3 student, and he's playing for Gold Eaglets. So we say kudos to the Nigerian Football Federation for allowing what they call the developmental process for these boys. These boys are young. Nigerians have seen that they are young. They play ball. Of course, even with the loss, people were not really condemning them. They were just saying that next time, try and convert the chances into goals. And that is what they have assured us, that they are going to convert the chances. They will create chances. They will convert them into goals. Of course, we need just a draw to qualify for quarterfinals. But if you are given a platform to win, score goals, you do that. You definitely score goals. We know that South Africans are not easy to come by. They're not going to be easy team. They're also tough side. For you to score 3 goals after losing your first game 2-0, it shows how resilient you are, your mental toughness to come back from a defeat, to defeat your rival, like a international local derby in Nigeria, in Algeria here, when they played Zambia, defeated Zambia 3-2. It was a very massive game. It shows that they too knew what they came to do. They will play for draw. They will also play. They may even come out to play against us, because we can see that they can score goals. So whatever be their own tactical discipline or formation or whatever they want to play against us, we just trust that our boys will come to party. They will bring out the A game tomorrow. They will play as a team. They will defend as a team, as they have assured us, and they will convert the chances they will create into goals.
All right. One more. Before you guys left for Algeria, what target from the football authorities? Of course, everybody will want the Golden Eaglets to qualify for the Under-17 World Cup. But coming into Algeria, was there any target? Was there any yardstick to measure whether or not the outing in Algeria was a success or not?
I think every coach wants to succeed. Personally, the target of Nduka Bade as chief coach of the Under-17 national team of Nigeria is to qualify the team for the World Cup, and also get to the final of this tournament and possibly win it. But the most important aspect of him as the chief coach of this team is to qualify the team for the FIFA World Cup later in the year. And NFF also wants to see these boys grow. They want to see these boys develop. They want to see, yes, we knew this boy, he played under 17. Look at him now. After 10 years, he's still active. After 15 years, he's still active. Just like they are using the case study of the likes of Osimhen, who won Italian league title for Napoli after 33 years. Yes, just yesterday. These are the reference points they want to use. We are seeing Samuel Chukwueze developing his football in Villarreal, playing against Real Madrid in La Liga, beating Real Madrid, scoring goals. We have seen the lives of Kelechi Iheanacho. We have seen we have seen Tawa winning. That is what Nigerian Football Federation wants to see concerning this. But they want to see the set of 2023 Gold Eaglets that have been enjoyed as very young side. We want to see that this set, this one has moved to this place, this one is in Germany, this one is in Spain, this one is doing well, this one is also playing for Super Eagles. That is the development process they want to see. That is for the development process. But at the same time, nothing stops you, nothing is bad when your team also progress in this tournament to get to the semi-final, get to the World Cup, and also when you get to the World Cup, you do your best to reenact the feat of your previous headers, your headers that have come before you to win the World Cup in 2013, to win the World Cup in 2015. But the team is not under pressure. The coaching crew, they are not under pressure. They know what is at stake, and the players are also looking forward to give us a very good game tomorrow. We are taking each game as it comes. The game tomorrow is to get a result that will make it to still be relevant in the tournament. We are looking at to get a win, or the worst, you get a draw. You cannot lose this game. So that's what we're looking for. When we get to the quarterfinal, we also plan towards it and make sure that we scale the order.
All right, Francis, I want to thank you for your time and wish the Golden Eaglets all the best when they face South Africa tomorrow.
Welcome and thank you for having me. God bless you.
Right. I was Francis Achi, the media officer of the Golden Eaglets, speaking his mind and, of course, filling us in with what is happening right there in Algeria. All right, we have a few minutes before we go on the break, but let's see how far we can go with a few minutes. Let's switch gears now and talk about, of course, American football. Nigeria American Football Association has been busy for the past few months and a few activities currently going on. And joining us on the show tonight is a representative of NAFA, as they are called. We'll be speaking with Aisha Shaibu, and she joins us now. Greetings to you. Thanks for finding out time to be with us on the show tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. First, I mean, so much has been heard about the Nigeria Secondary School Flags Football League. A lot has been said, and it's been monitored very well. And of course, we also know that you're taking the development of the game seriously. So I want to get your thoughts in a few minutes before we go on break. Talk about those two things: the efforts to grow the game and also taking it to secondary school.
Well, something that we're really prioritizing when it comes to sports development and youth development through sports is, first of all, in educating people on sports like flag football, because flag football is like American football, but is a non-tackle version of it. So the nature of the game generally makes it a lot safer and a lot more child-friendly. In fact, the NFL had introduced the Flag Football League, which is the biggest youth flag football organization in the world. And you see globally that it is a growing sport. And at the moment in Nigeria, such a great opportunity for us to really get children more involved on a recreational level, but also on a career level. So by introducing them into schools as programs and even organizing events around the sport, we're able to educate people more about the sport, about how it can be co-ed, a combination of both male and female players, and of course, promote health and wellness as well among the youth.
You were hinting us about some of the efforts to create awareness, to develop the game. let me tell you something that probably a novice would say, maybe somebody like me. There's this notion that you have to be big, you have to be huge, and maybe that is a bit dangerous. That's the nature, that's the notion people have, and parents tend to try to, especially boys, try to keep them, of course, in these parts. It's very popular in the United States, in this part. So how do you dispel such a notion now that from the clips we're seeing, it's something that could be done in a friendly environment and all that? So how do you dispel such a notion?
Well, I would say for the game of football itself, the bigger you are, the better, definitely. However, with flag football, that's not necessarily the case. I think it's more about skill, it's about speed, it's about agility, and your ability to just stay on your feet.
Okay. Is it all comers, boy, girls, everybody?
Yes, flag football is co-ed. It creates opportunities for both males and females to participate. So is American football, actually. But I would say on a more global scale, it's more common to see male leagues in American football than females. With flag football, all ages, both men and women. One of the main priorities of my sports marketing agency is ensuring that we're creating avenues for female participation on all levels. So not only with the game of flag football, but with other sports as well.
All right, I know something big is happening in Abuja tomorrow. Can you fill us in with that?
So the game day, it's going to be organized as the first flag football event in Abuja, and it's a collaboration between SW Sports and NAFA and the Abuja Flag Football League. And the most amazing thing about this event is that it promotes grassroots leagues and athletes, something that we need to begin to prioritize in Nigeria. We are a youth populous nation that needs to begin to think of sports as a business and not only recreationally. It's a huge driver of economic growth and also an opportunity to bring people together. Sports has the power to promote unity, togetherness, patriotism, and this event is going to be a chance for us to do that, to bring people together of all ages, of different social classes, of different interests in sports, to educate them about the game of flag football, but to also promote that unity, togetherness, health and wellness, and also the need to see that this game is a game that has a huge potential to grow beyond what we think. On a global scale, Nigerians are all over the football world. The NFL draft had just been concluded sometime last week, and there were so many Nigerians that got drafted to that league. We have that level of talent at home here, but we're yet to develop them. So the nature of this event is to show people the potential that we have in Nigeria as far as the level of talent that we have, but also how much the sport itself needs more attention, more investment, more support in order to grow the game.
Before we let you go, a lot of people are eagerly anticipating season 2 of course, the secondary school flag football league. First, let me ask you, how did season 1 go, and what should people who are expecting season 2, what should they look forward to?
It went very well. I think it created so many opportunities for the players and participants to see all the different opportunities, not only for them personally, but for the country. When you compete, both at home and internationally, you are a flag bearer for your country. You're a representation of the greatness of this nation. So it really is a thing of pride for the participants, for the players, and even for the organization to be able to go on those platforms and to fly the flag high. As Nigerians, we love to win. So being able to be on those global platforms and to succeed and to win and to get more opportunities for our athletes is really all that we want. And that is what you'll see in season 2 and even more of it.
All right, this just popped into my mind, and I'm going to ask you before I let you go. I want to say I've enjoyed the discussion, by the way. I mean, just your own assessment. How far do you think the game has grown in Nigeria, say, in comparison to sports like, to be unfair to say football, but maybe basketball, table tennis? You compare with those two. How far, for the kids below 10, maybe 10 to 15? Do you think the interest, everything is they're catching up?
I think the interest is definitely growing. I can say that there's definitely a lot more headway being done in places like Lagos. There are several flag football leagues and American football leagues that have emerged in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, and then now in Abuja as well. And these things, of course, they happen gradually. But of course, with more events, with more camps, with more activity, it naturally grows. And we just need to give it a lot more attention, a lot more of our support. And of course, the Nigerian government and the public need to pay more attention and devote more interest in not only football, but in other kinds of sports as well that can really be a channel of growth and development for our country and for the youth.
All right, Aisha Shaibu, I want to thank you for your time on the show tonight. Hopefully, I will get you some other time to talk to us on what the Nigeria American Football Association is doing to develop the game.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so just been speaking with Aisha Shaibu, a representative of the Nigeria American Football Association. So we're done with that. Let's move on. And I'm still lucky to have Segun Vincent with me in the studio. Segun, where do we go? All right, I want to quickly allow you to say something about what you listen to.
I think flag football has been in the country for quite some time, not necessarily too long. I have a couple of friends that they have like a league and they play somewhere in Lekki. I don't want to mention the name of the because of the media, whatever. And they do flag football, so they just touch. They have like a flag of a color. So each team picks a color. So when you touch the flag, it means that you have touched the player down, something like that. And it's a wonderful sport, no doubt. I think even last year or so, they arranged like 50 secondary schools to join into the flag football, and then because it's not contact, so people are now more interested because of we've seen injuries that happen in the NFL. Players like I think Gary Payton, who lost his liver because of through a headshot from
these issues about concussion.
Yes, concussion and all of that. Even we're surprising that we see Tom Brady play over 48 or 42, 43. For I think God does miracles anyway. But this flag football with the less of race, it's not really about the size or how fast you are. Of course, speed is very, very important. So of course, the techniques of the game are more important. The fundamentals of the game, excuse me, are more important. So I believe that all trying to like to go around the country, we have different states participate. I think we already have some base in Lagos and Abuja, and let's see how it pans out for the future.
All right. Let's just move on the show so that we can have time for some other things. Let's talk about Nigeria Professional Football League quickly as we can. Let's see the fixtures. I'm going to go to the screen and just take the viewers through what's going to happen this weekend. And so we'll come back to talk about it. Right there on your screen, Group A, you have Sunday's fixtures. Aqua United will be up against El Kanemi. Bendel Insurance will take on Shooting Stars. The Aba Elephants and Imba will take on Gombe. Kwara United will be up against Nasarawa United. Plateau United will be up against Remo Stars. Let's switch gears and move quickly to Group B. Match day 17 is what we're talking about. Doma United up against Enugu Rangers. Niger Tornadoes up against Sunshine Stars. Rivers United, now there's no distraction with the CAF Confederation Cup. They're up against Bayelsa United. Wiki Tourists up against Abia Warriors. Those are the fixtures in the Nigeria Professional Football League. Everything hots up. And of course, there are just one or two matches left to decide the season. All right, so Segun, I'm going to get your thoughts quickly. Maybe with Group A, which of these fixtures jumps at you? Maybe Plateau United, Remo Stars?
Yes, Plateau United, Remo Stars. The surprising fact is that, Remo are third and Plateau United are fifth. And Remo is 2 points ahead of Plateau United. So meaning that if Plateau wins, they sub Remo. And if Remo wins, I think they will solidify their place. So it's a feature that we're going to be watching. And of course, Kwara United and that team, we're going to watch them because they're one of the worst teams in the league. So it's something that they are probably, well, at least, they should not go down without a fight. I think those are the two features that we'll be looking at in that group.
Okay, let's talk about Group B. Just fewer matches there, of course. The one Dakar and Lobisas, that will be on Saturday. But the ones we saw at the games for Sunday. Anyone jumps at you? Maybe Rivers United now that they're back.
Yeah, Rivers United. I never expected them to lose at the contender stage against that because they defeated the team over and over again. And I think they need to get back to the winning ways. They're at home against Manchester United. Manchester United too are not minors too. I feel like Rivers United have a point to prove in this picture. And let's say a point for them basically in that encounter.
All right, let's see how it pans out for some of these things. Interesting things happening in the Nigerian Professional Football League, and we're going to see. I mean, as we talk about Bendel Insurance, a whole lot. Remo Stars, even Doma. A lot of people are saying even if they don't make the Super Six, what they've done this season is worthy of mention so far. All right, let's switch gears and talk about something you were so eager to talk about when we came in to the studio. It is the English Premier League, and I dare say, arguably, the best league in the world. Segun Vincent has his thoughts on that, but, well, I can't argue. A lot of people say so, so we'll see. English Premier League is our next sport of call, and there you have it. Bournemouth will take on Chelsea. Manchester City will be up against Leeds United. Tottenham will be up against Crystal Palace. Wolverhampton Wanderers up against Aston Villa. Liverpool will take on Brentford. All of these matches will be played on Saturday. How about Sunday? On Sunday, you have Newcastle taking on Arsenal. This is going to be very important with regards to how the two teams finish. And West Ham take on Manchester United. Manchester United losing to Brighton wasn't a result that they wanted. And so it's going to be interesting to see how all of these fixtures pan out. All right, Segun, back to you. Your pick for the weekend. A lot of people saying probably, the game that has Newcastle and Arsenal because it's important for both teams.
The Newcastle Arsenal fixture, the West Ham Man U fixture, and then the Liverpool Brentford fixture. Brentford aren't fighting for anything. In the first leg, Brentford defeated Liverpool. I think it was, I can't remember the scoreline there. And Liverpool have 4 points. They asked Klopp as regards the fixture, what's going to happen. He said that they're going to be, he said he doesn't know, that they can already determine their own fixture. They are at home at Anfield, and somehow, they seem to get their results going for them at Anfield for some miraculous reasons that we don't know. There are rumors of the refereeing pardoning them. We saw what happened against Tottenham Hotspur.
Really, we don't have much time, but a lot of people want to hear you talk about Newcastle Arsenal.
So the Newcastle Arsenal game, the first game Arsenal played 0-0. Newcastle can be pragmatic. They have the best defense in the league. Dambon, Trippier, and then Arsenal have come out of winning ways. Even though Chelsea were distributing points. They have been doing the promo. I don't know whether the promo is going to last. Somebody said they're going to double 7. They're on double 6 now. So I feel like Arsenal have a point to prove in that game. Newcastle need to win to solidify their cement their place in the top 4. And for West Ham, Manchester United, we don't have much time. West Ham, they backed the aeroplane in that game against Manchester United. Manchester United need to get back to winning ways. If they don't win that game against West Ham, and Liverpool win, just 1 point. We know what happened.
All right. Let's listen to a man who everybody considers to have won. A lot of people feel, but mathematically they can still lose. But a lot of people are already thinking that Pep Guardiola and his boys have won the league already. Let's listen to Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola speak his mind. I will come back to wrap things up on the show.
It's the past. So always the impact a new manager and the players in the first 1 or 2 games. Of course, they are playing. Every team is playing for important things. But of course, Leeds to stay here. The impact always is huge. I don't know the system is going to play. We don't have any info because we have to adapt quick after 10-15 minutes. What we can imagine what is trying to do against us and again, it's a massive important game for us. Yeah, it was one of the first time like we are there. But the fact that we play many games during the season, we are used to. So it's not new. And what they have done, or we have done, being here until the end, we have done in the past. So it's not surprise, but admire my players for the fact that again they have done it.
All right, Pep Guardiola speaking his mind. Of course, he'll be up against Big Sam. We'll see whether we're going to get that Big Sam effect in the first game. And of course, we know he knows how to keep teams on, stop them from going into a relegation. So we'll see what happens with that one. Segun Vincent, the best way to end this show is to spend the few minutes we have left to talk about the remarkable season Napoli has had. And the champion has been on highs for the last 1 month. But yesterday, everything went according to script.
You cannot talk, cannot always take away the what Napoli is doing from what they've done in the past. They have at the past they've been knocking on the door, and there's a national law that when you keep pushing, you keep pushing. At some point, they were leading the league under Sarri. I think they were leading, 11 points. I can't remember the number of points before they crumbled towards the end of the season. So, and they've been working their way back. They got Victor Osimhen, the Georgian guy, and Greece have been excellent for them. Defense, they've been excellent. And this is their first league title since 1986. If I'm not mistaken, under Maradona, this is a wonderful time to be living in this world right now, because there's an opera amongst the Italian teams. Since 1990, we've not had the 1990 is now won the Champions League in 1990. Sampdoria won the Cup Winners' Cup. We're having since Inter won the Champions League in 2010. AC now won Champions League in 2007. But the major turn up, we have two Serie sides in the Champions League. This is just not a win for Napoli. It's a win for this, the Italian club in general, because we have a new winner. We have the Napoli is going to give. They're not an easy.
So do we now say Italian football is on the ascendancy?
Yes, it's ascendancy, because also in the Europa Cup we have Juve and Roma. Yeah, in the Conference League we have kind of the team that's in the Conference League now. So I feel like the Serie now is on ascendancy now.
We have to talk about these fans as we go. For the past 3 weeks, they've been planning this. The city has, organized everything with them, and now they are painting the city red. And what is shocking the more is that they're saying for the rest of the matches this season, it's going to be a carnival atmosphere like this.
Yes, you gotta know. Even Satan said it, that the Italian fans are different from any other country fans. They are very crazy. They are wild. As well as that of the Russians, very wild. Like that of the Ukrainians, very, very wild. They can go heck and neck. They have some level of, don't let me use, they have some level of good violence. Let me use that word. Good violence. They have, and they've been waiting for this moment for time. I think last week they drew 1-1, so they couldn't. I think it was last week or the week before they drew, so they couldn't celebrate yet. And now Victor 23 goals, breaking Samato's record. Breaking, I think George Weah's record. I think Mufo Martin's record of most goals scored by a single season. This is a wonderful time to that for the Nigerian, the Napoli, and of course the Serie A itself, the Italian league. It is what it is for them.
And who knows? It might just be in the running for the CAF African Footballer of the Year. Who knows?
And who knows too for the FIFA World Best.
Who knows? All right, Django Vincent, I want to thank you for your time on the show today.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's good to be back here. It's good to have you too, and I hope to.
All right, we'll continue the conversation outside of the studio. That's the show today. We do hope that you've enjoyed everything we've been able to bring to you. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you again next week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.